Track 1.
Health problems. Hi, Ellen. What's the matter with you?
I think I've got a terrible cold. My nose is stuffed up, and I've got a sore throat.
Oh, that's too bad. You should be at home in bed. It's really important to get a good rest.
Yeah, you're right.
And have you taken anything for it?
No, I haven't.
Well, you should take some vitamin C, and it's also a good idea to drink lots of liquids.
That's a good suggestion. I've a bottle of vitamin C at home.
Have you seen a doctor?
Not yet.
Well, you'd better see a doctor first, and then go back home to rest.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Ellen, it's also helpful to cook chicken soup with some garlic in it, and drink a cup every half an hour. It really works.
Oh, chicken stock for a cold? Okay, I'll try it. Thanks.
I hope you recover soon.
Track 2.
In a camera shop. Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, I want to buy a camera. What kind do you recommend?
Well, it all depends. We have many kinds of cameras here. How much money do you want to spend?
I want something cheap and easy to handle.
Are you an experienced photographer?
No, I've had no experience at all.
Here's a camera that would suit you very well. It's got a very good lens, and it's all automatic, so it's very easy to use. Just press one button, and it's done.
How much does it cost?
It's only £45.
Can I try?
Of course. Here you are.
Well, I think the price is reasonable, and I like that. It is automatic, but I don't like the color. Do you have any other color?
Yes. How about this yellow one?
It looks better. Is it the same price?
Yes.
All right. I will take this yellow one. Here is £50.
Here is your change.
Track 3.
At the reception desk in a hotel.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Arthur Collins. I believe you have a room reserved for me.
Just a moment, Mr. Collins. Let me see. Collins. Yes. Mr. Collins, you booked a single room 3 days ago. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Mr. Collins, your room number is 405 on the 4th floor. Would you fill in this form, please?
Certainly.
How long do you intend to stay in the hotel, Mr. Collins?
Let me see. Today is Monday, and probably am going to leave on Friday morning.
On Friday morning, I see.
Oh, excuse me. Where shall I put my passport number?
Just at the bottom. That's right. Thank you.
Oh, would you please wake me up at 7:10 in the morning, please?
7:10. Certainly. Porter, please take Mr. Collins' suitcase to his room. Mr. Collins, please follow him.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Track 4.
Christmas activities.
The Christmas season begins very early in Britain. By the end of October, you may see Christmas decorations in the streets and Christmas cards and gifts in the shops. Traditionally, people start to decorate their houses a week or two before the 25th of December, which is Christmas Day. There are a lot of traditions connected with Christmas. The most important one is the giving of presents. Family members wrap up their gifts and leave them at the bottom of the Christmas tree to be found on Christmas morning. Children leave a long sock or stocking at the end of their bed on Christmas Eve, the 24th of December, hoping that Father Christmas will come down the chimney during the night and bring them small presents, fruit, and nuts. They are not usually disappointed. Sometimes on Christmas Day, the family will sit down to a big turkey dinner and Christmas pudding. Later, in the afternoon, they may watch the Queen on television as she delivers her traditional Christmas message to the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth. If they have room for even more food, they may enjoy a piece of Christmas cake or eat a hot mince pie. The 26th of December is also a public holiday, Boxing Day, and this is the time to visit friends and relatives or watch football.
Track 5.
Trip to Stonehenge. Hi, Sue. How was your weekend?
Oh, really good. I went to Stonehenge with my host family.
Stonehenge?
Yes, that's right. Have you ever been there?
Yes, I went there last month. I really enjoyed it.
Me too. Stonehenge is the best known and probably the most remarkable of prehistoric remains in the UK.
Yes, it has stood on Salisbury Plain for about 4,000 years. You know, there have been many different theories about its original use.
Yes, I know. My host father told me that one of the theories is that it was a place from where stars and planets could be observed.
Yes, but no one is really certain why it was built. One of the things people have discovered is the positions of some of the stones relate to the movements of the sun and moon, so that the stones could be used as a calendar.
That's interesting.
Did you go to Oxford too? It's not far from Stonehenge.
No, we didn't because of the time. My host family had to be back before 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, what a pity. You should go sometime. It's very interesting too.
Yes, I hope I can sometime.
Track 6.
Marriage.
Hello, Steve. Have you read this article?
Not yet. What is in it?
There are some facts about families in the United States. It says that 50% of marriages end in divorce in the United States.
That's quite high, isn't it? Do many people get divorced in Korea?
No, most Korean couples stay together.
Families are sure different in America.
Well, there are more divorces, but what else is different?
Well, I think people get married younger.
How much younger?
Oh, I think some people get married before the age of 20.
Really? What else?
A lot of women work after they get married, and I think most women who have babies go back to work fairly soon, too.
Yes, according to the survey, 50% of American working women return to work within a year of having a baby.
Do women in Korea usually work after they get married?
No, a lot of women stay at home and take care of their families, but a few work.
I see. Here are some more figures. It says 67% of women with children work, and 57% of children under 6 have 2 parents who work or a single parent who works.
Track 7.
Music in New Orleans.
Hi, Mike. Do you like jazz?
Yes, very much. And I like to dance to jazz too.
Do you know who first started to play jazz?
Yes, of course. The African Americans.
Do you know when and where?
Yes. Around 1900, people from many countries lived in New Orleans. Music was an important part of life in this city. Musicians in New Orleans started to play a new kind of music. It was called jazz. Jazz was a kind of music intended to make people happy.
I know jazz is kind of a mixture of many different kinds of music. For example, African, blues, European, church music, and work songs. Most early jazz musicians were African American. They played in small bands and they didn't write down their music.
Yes, they learned to work together to produce a loose and relaxed beat that is so powerful that listeners cannot help but dance, or at least move their feet along with it. And soon, white musicians were playing jazz too.
I know black and white musicians seldom played together in the United States at that time.
You are right. Around 1920, jazz music began to spread. Jazz musicians moved from city to city. People listened to jazz records. They heard jazz on the radio. In the 1930s and 1940s, jazz was popular in the U.S. and Canada. The music was called swing. It was played by big bands.
It was said there are still a few bands made up of very old musicians playing the old-style jazz in a club in New Orleans. They play jazz for 4.5 hours each evening, so many tourists go there and listen.
Can the audience make some special requests for the songs?
Yes, if the musicians are willing to play them, people pay a little money for the request. Traditional songs cost $1 and all others cost $2.
That's interesting. I'd like to visit the city sometime in the future.
Track 8.
The news.
This is the 6 o'clock news for Thursday, and first the headlines are: a powerful earthquake rocked the U.S. Northwest on Wednesday. Frightened people ran into the streets of Seattle. Earthquake officials said British Columbia felt the shock but escaped any serious damage. Transport workers are on strike in Vancouver over a pay claim, and the strike looks set to spread to all of BC. In Moscow, Russian officials gave the green light on Wednesday to California millionaire Dennis Tito to become the first tourist in space.
Now here's the news in detail. A strong earthquake hit Seattle at 10:54 a.m. on Wednesday. According to the National Earthquake Information Center in Golden, the magnitude 6.8 quake was centered 125 kilometers southeast of Victoria and 56 kilometers southwest of Seattle. About 250 people were reported injured in Seattle and Olympia. At least 3 of them are in serious condition. In Victoria, the earthquake caused buildings to sway and shook pictures off walls, but damage was minimal. Said Kay Smith, who was on the 8th floor of a downtown Victoria office building. I thought the building was going to sway and topple over. Yet others didn't feel a thing. A spokesman said that at least 2 local people had hospital treatment for minor injuries.
Russian officials gave the green light to California millionaire Dennis Tito to become the first tourist in space, despite reservations from NASA. Tito, 60, the founder of an investment firm, took his final exam. The Interdepartmental Committee, which routinely approves cosmonauts for spaceflight, included Tito in the primary crew set to launch on April 28th on a mission to the International Space Station. Tito will reportedly pay $20 million for the flight. He will spend about a week on the station, despite objections from NASA, who felt that an amateur on board could jeopardize safety if there were an emergency.